I'm pretty sure we can handle pretty much anything at this point.
They're after that weird rock that we picked up.
Well, we gotta get this rock into the sun. I'm gonna go ask it.
I don't know where my home is, but the Chosen One is supposed to take me there.
Okay. I'd like to assist. I don't know why.
We're friends.
Yeah, we can be friends.
You've kept the sunblade off this entire time, right?
Do you know anything about this and turn it on?
Cool. The starry vision of the child screams, winks out. Melvin, you're fitting these legs to Orchid.
They will actually work somewhat better than your original appendages.
Do they have rockets in them, or?
Not with our budget.
A hail comes in on your ship. I'm the producer of a new show in the sector. It's called Derelict Delvers. I heard you guys just want to race and fade.
Yeah, I won that race.
The Gorgeous Axiom. My name is Margot Verse. It's a pleasure to meet you guys.
There won't be ghosts, right?
No, ghosts aren't real.
Nothing in the helm indicates that the ship should have stopped working.
It drove them mad in big red letters.
The galley looks like it was just clean.
Could be a blood stain on one of the tables.
The hold is just full of fish.
The words on the wall melt and shift, and a little drop of saliva falls on the brim of your hat. A shadowy figure placing the last of these fish, another version of yourself. Travelers, and welcome to the Jester's Space Court. My name is Jonas Tintenseher, and joining me today, as always, we have Sky Swanson.
Makes the best Tex-Mex. Watch out for those reflex. It's Jane Dexheart.
Nice. I was expecting a third verse, but good. Sweet.
Sometimes just two is all you need, baby. Sometimes I'm lazy.
We have Rachel Kordell.
With Sunblade and sometimes floor wax ablazing, I'm Taloo Davuna.
Yeah! Love me some florg.
Floor wax.
Florg what? We have Casey Reardon.
Things can never go awry, except on film because he's camera shy. It's Pappy.
Oh!
Yay.
Oh!
Hey, nice.
We have Seth Coveyou.
And I play Chaag, the mineral badass.
Hey!
Rock solid.
Gorgeous every time.
Didn't we say like Seth was going to start going last?
No,
like,
Seth said that he should go last, and I chose to ignore him. And we have Andrew Frost.
He's got one eye. He's sleek and spry, and he's here to make sure that you don't die. It's Melvin.
Wait, I thought you had like 3 eyes.
No, he's got one big,
one big eye.
I listened to the episode, and you said your middle eye.
Yeah.
You turn. Well, what?
Middle of his head.
Yeah, it's an eye in the middle of the head. It's a middle eye.
I understood that. He said he's like an aperture science turret. Like he's just got one big shiny.
I don't even see through that.
Yeah, what would he call it? He would see through
That's
his
like
eye?
a terrible, like I'm a robot.
His eye.
That wouldn't make any sense. Where is
Cyclops
it?
doesn't say, "Ow, you hit my middle eye."
I don't know where it is then.
Yeah, maybe it's on his thigh.
Maybe it's on the left.
When we last left off, having discovered the secret of the Fury's Sunblade and briefly communed with the mysterious 20-sided artifact, the crew was contacted by an elephantine Oeka named Ariza Whip, who said that they were the producer on a new show called Derelict Delvers that was filming in the sector, and they wanted the crew of the Scarab on board to act as security and as sort of the B team and get some additional footage and reactions when things got weird. Now, on board the ship, the Gorgeous Axiom, a few strange things came into light. Up on the helm, it seemed that there was nothing wrong with the ship, and there were strange words written in possibly spray paint on the wall. Down in the cafeteria, there was something skittering overhead and drooling on Jane's hat, and in the hold, another version of Melvin's class of android was laying out long, parallel lines of raw fish.
I completely forgot that I wasn't part of the, we're just dealing with words on the wall team, and that I was part of the, oh, there's something in here with us.
Yeah, you got
team.
something in the room.
Fun with that.
My stomach legitimately just like dropped.
Perfect.
We are going to start in the galley as some creature that you barely caught the edge of with your light skitters down, lands behind you, and rises up to its full height, drooling hot saliva on the brim of your hat.
Ooh, hot.
Jane, what do you do?
I mean, scream a little bit, probably. Jane's not that cool and collected at all times. I think they would whip around and just shoot first, ask questions later.
You're just going to start firing?
Jane is so freaked out in this moment. Like, yeah, we just had that discussion of, hey, do you guys plan things? We're like, oh, they never tell us. Jane's not thinking anymore. She's back in this like primal survival mode.
You whip around, and standing behind you, and as Chaag, as you hear this noise, you turn to see this as well, is a like 6 to 7 foot tall, hulking, furry mass. It is this bat-like humanoid with the huge head and ears and snout of a bat, huge long clawed arms that come down almost all the way to the floor to drape like an ape, patagia on the inside of their arms, and big thick legs ending in dastardly claws. This is a volley, normally any other type of sapient species. However, you can tell even in your like panicked state that something is wrong with them. They are like heaving and seething, and there are these weird patches of kind of burned away fur and scorched flesh all over their body, and the tatters of a ship uniform on them.
Oh, Jane knows fully what's wrong with this creature right here.
Is that they're alive?
No, actually, because Jane sees the creature and she immediately freezes up and drops her gun.
Blaster clatters to the floor.
Yeah, panic stricken.
Oh, hey, you dropped this.
Just for my own mental image, we're not wearing spacesuits, right?
No, the atmosphere systems are on.
Okay, I wasn't sure how derelict ship was.
I'm always wearing a spacesuit.
I don't got one.
Suspenders.
The engines were running. We discussed like the ship lights are on. They just turn them off for the atmosphere of the show.
Yeah.
You guys discovered that like at the helm, nothing seems to be wrong with the ship. There's just something with the shielding. But the ship itself is the life support is on.
Gotcha. Okay. Cool.
I get that. One final thing though. I gotta get it.
Yeah. Oh right, of course.
There we go.
Oh yeah.
Good. Yeah.
The creature, the crazed volley, as you freeze and clatter, it's kind of looking at you, Jane, but it's looking through you more than anything. It doesn't see you as like another person in the room. It just is like heat source, basically. And it will lunge forward and attempt to claw at your throat. Chaag, what are you going to do?
Grab it from its scruff, from the back of its neck.
Okay.
Scruff it.
I'm gonna scruff it.
Like a young kitten.
Yeah.
Okay, so this sounds like you want to protect Jane.
Please do.
I want to protect the volley. I'm more interested in
All life is beautiful.
I want to know this guy's name.
Since we started with a risky position, this is only going to be a level 2 harm to begin with.
How did we start with the risky position? Who did we let roll?
Could be worse.
I forgot about that.
So if you want to step in and try and pull the volley off of Jane, that's going to be a prowess resistance.
Who are you talking to?
Please
talking to me?
succeed.
Are you talking to the kid? Are you talking to the kid right now?
I really hope you get all ones now.
I hope you don't. I don't want to die.
I rolled 2 6s and a 5.
Oh, that's a crit, ain't it? Or something like that. Whatever the equivalent is.
On a resistance, it doesn't matter.
Oh.
On an action roll, it would be. On resistance, it just means we take the 6 and you take 0 stress. But because you rolled so well on the resistance, I will kind of bump that up and just say that you fully negate the harm rather than bumping it down. So yeah, you see Jane freeze and you grab this bat thing by the scruff of its neck, pull it off, and it, like, again, it's obviously violent right now, but they're also not in full control of their functions. So you grab it, they start flailing, but they're not specifically like able to do any like combat maneuver, like pull you off. They're just kind of thrashing and flailing.
I start rubbing it behind the ears, like shush.
Okay.
Stop it now.
They are a person.
Well, I mean, they're not playing by human rules.
You do it. You do what
using
Chaag
your
do.
words.
I just want it to be clear.
I'm not getting sentience from this beast. Okay, so I'm gonna treat it like a beast.
This is very funny given previous conversations this crew has had over alien bigotry.
Well, that's a sentient bug, and I'm a sentient rock, and this is a beast.
The volley thrashes and flails and starts scrabbling at your rock skin, which it doesn't, like, its claws can't really do a lot of damage to you from this position, kind of reaching behind it as you're trying to rub the back of their head.
I get a squirt bottle out.
Jane, why don't you take a level 2 harm shaken or frozen, and you can roll a resolve resist if you would like.
Okay, then yeah, I'll go ahead and try that. Oh, sweet. I got 3 in resolve, so let's do this, baby.
Heck yeah.
That's a 1, a 4, and a 4.
4. So you're gonna take 2 stress.
Okay.
But we're gonna cancel that harm. You are momentarily frozen in fear by the sight of this creature, and then your adrenaline kicks into drive, and suddenly you're moving again. What do you do?
Jane is just going to straight hurdle some of the tables and sprint away. Okay. Probably like back into the kitchen, but she full on abandons just like all of them.
Okay.
She is so terrified right now.
No, absolutely. One of the camera techs follows you and then starts kind of jogging after you with a couple camera drones. The others are still on Chaag. They're not interfering. They're just filming.
Wow.
I mean,
Gotta love their commitment.
Dedicated right now.
What's your name, Camera B?
M'oo.
M'oo. What the heck is this thing?
We still have David, right, as camera.
David and M'oo, yeah. David is following Jane.
Is M'oo a sentient cow race?
There it is again. That alien bigotry.
We can't stop.
M'oo is a Skrelu, which is to say the same type of humanoid blue alien as Taloo.
Oh.
But he's like, it looks like a crewmate that went mad. I don't know.
Oh yeah, with the uniform. That makes sense. Do you know how to how do you calm it down? Do you tell it to stop?
I'm not a doctor.
You don't know anything about animals? I don't understand.
That's a full-on person, dude.
Okay.
Hey,
I pick it up and I pulled it like Simba, and I raised it up, and I just look at it and I go, hey, shush. What? Oh, I've heard if you raise your intonation, so it sounds like you're more excited and you're happy. This growling thing's not working for the. Hey! Hey, buddy!
What?
No, it's really hard on my.
That's unbelievably cursed.
Yeah, the volley's just gonna as they're thrashing about, kind of in your arms, they are going to attempt to flail and smack you in the head. You're gonna take level 1 harm punched.
Okay. I'll resist
if you want.
Yeah, why not?
Also, didn't Jonas describe this thing as 7 feet tall?
Yeah, they're a bit smaller than Chaag.
Okay.
I'm always taller than whenever Jonas brings in the room.
I mean, that's true.
He grows the appropriate 5 inches taller.
You're Iragamagori from Kill la Kill.
I really should videotape these rolls because I just rolled 2 6s in a row.
Oh my god!
To see it.
Way to dice.
This guy,
all right,
what's
so
with these dice?
Vote on your phones.
I don't
Is
know.
Seth cheating? Who knows?
No.
Get in the comments.
Oh, are those the ones that I got you?
Yeah, they are.
Sky,
Seth
fix
likes
the dice.
Seth likes failure. I know this.
I do
about
like
Seth.
failure. I have
Seth
never
rolls with
failed
it.
in this campaign.
The volley is thrashing, smashing at your head, and again, they are kind of their claws are just not able to do any damage to you with your rock body.
All right.
This distorted attempt at echolocation. Are you going to keep trying to talk to them? Or are you going to?
That's the thing. Okay. All right. Shush. And this time I stopped shushing and being graceful, and now it's in a full sleeper hold.
Okay.
I'll choke it out. I'm trying not to kill the
that's
crewmate.
kind of you. Yeah, that's kind of
Yeah.
you. This is gonna be a roll too, because it is still fully capable of defending itself. It can try and get away. So some kind of roll, probably scrap. This is just risky standard because we've established it can't do a whole lot to you.
All right, gonna start my video.
I hope this is the time when it's all ones.
Okay, that's 2 3s and a 4.
Okay, so that is a mixed success.
There we go.
I'm going to say you manage to keep a tight grip on them as they are thrashing and trying to writhe under your arms, and then you feel them go slack, and you loosen your arms for just a second, and they wrench themselves free, and they do manage to like get away from you, but they kind of slam into a couple of tables and things that are still in the galley and kind of topple into a mess in the corner.
Yeah.
And you see them stand up, but they've maybe like injured their knee, like they can't just run away on the ship. They maybe are backed into a corner now. There's like lights flashing on them, and they're looking around, their arms kind of covering up in defensive position, like
Oh, did you hurt yourself?
And we're gonna cut up to the bridge where Taloo, Pappy, Minvane, Margot, and a couple of camera crew members are dealing with the consoles and the sprayed writing on the walls that said it drove them mad. The spray paint begins to melt and bubble and peel off of the wall. What is your guys' immediate reaction?
I think Pappy steps up next to Taloo, hope now that the camera's off of him, and he just kind of puts his hands up on his hips. He's like, wow, now that's a pretty neat effect. How do you think they did that, Taloo?
Taloo isn't too fazed by this, because she thinks it's fake.
Mm-hmm.
So she's like, I honestly don't know. Hey, how'd you guys do this? And then like points at it and like
Well,
looks
no,
at,
don't ask him. I want to theorize.
Just as you say that, like 6 of the letters that are peeling off kind of wobble and then fly directly at both of you as these blobs of ooze attempt to smack you in the face and cover your head. If you would like to resist, you may. Otherwise, you're going to take level 2 harm oozed.
I would love to resist.
I'm going to resist. Is it ooze like OOZE or ooze like the letter O in the word, and they're just kind of flying off the wall in the shape of O?
Both.
Oh, perfect.
How many O's are there in
One?
It drove them mad?
It's 1, but
They spelled it
okay,
wrong.
so you have an O.
The letters changed to
Drove them mad.
they drove them mad.
Well, yeah, no, the letters they did start bubbling and melting before they did this. So basically, like all the D's and the A's are all just kind of like looking like O's as well now.
Yeah, they're just
Nice.
melted.
It's
Yes,
just
I'm
melted.
resisting. How do I do so? I roll.
Yeah, this is a prowess resist.
Yeah, all
if you
right.
want to duck or if you want to rip it off your face, like however you want to describe that. But these are prowess resistances.
Yeah, I'll roll and then I'll describe it.
Yeah.
Because I don't roll so... Nope. I don't roll so good, guys.
I got a 6.
I got a 3.
So 0 stress for Taloo. So you fully do just you kind of sense it
duck.
coming in the moment before it happens and duck. Pappy, you do still resistance means it doesn't happen to you, but it just a low resistance roll means it's a little harder for you. So yeah, what happens?
So I think Taloo sees the letters coming a little bit before Pappy does, and it just right onto his face, smacks him, and he's just like rolling around on the ground trying to rip it off, and it takes him like a good 5 seconds to rip the thing off, and it's just like fully ripping a Band-Aid off your entire face and just
Yeah.
Does he take part of his eyebrow?
Your
it takes his entire eyebrow. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, doesn't
whole
Pappy
face-
have a mustache? Does it
Pappy
just
has 2 very bushy eyebrows and a mustache. Yes.
So does it take
No
it all?
longer. It's just right on the letter.
Oh no!
Yeah, your face is completely red and
smooth.
and damn. Yeah, baby smooth. Yeah,
Baby
you've just
smooth.
taken one of those like scrub exfoliation treatments. No hair. A little bit of it gets inside your mouth, and you can feel it worming its way down your throat. This little inching ooze. It tastes kind of like strawberry.
That's
good.
Like a silver lining.
Taloo, you duck, and instead the ooze smacks into one of the camera techs. And they kind of like Pappy starts screaming and pulling it in their faces. It's trying to force itself down their throat as well. Margot runs over to help them. The other camera tech runs over to help them. You and Min are dealing with Pappy. What's your next move here? Is your
I would go and help the cameramen. I believe that was what I was hired to do here.
Sure. Yeah, security service.
I think Pappy's just on the ground. He's like, never in doubt.
Min Vane, the tall, spindly, we called them like Chibi Slender Man. Lemur, giant lemur eyes, like leans over you, Pappy, and it's kind of like that cartoon thing where they don't so much bend as like the arc of their body just extends forward and down.
Jeez.
Perfect.
And they just lean very close to your face and say, "Are you well?"
Yeah, no, I'm fine.
They wrap two spindly hands around your arm and help you to your feet. They're not very strong.
You're so strong.
They're not really. They're mostly just like a support for you, but
gotcha.
They do try. They do try to help you out. Taloo, you go over and you see the crewmate is like panicking. The combined group of you managed to get it off their face, but you see that they swallowed a bit more of it than Pappy did, and as well, their eyebrows are gone. Their face has a new layer to it, and they're like, why does it taste like a milkshake?
Are you okay?
Yeah, it kind of tasted like strawberry, right?
That's not good, Pappy. Are you okay?
How do you know? I like strawberries.
I'm gonna go sit down. They go and sit in the pilot's seat and or rather the captain's seat because it's a full bridge, and just kind of. Margot is like, is there like a bucket around? Does anyone see? Can we get something to just? And one of the other techs goes and grabs something and hands it to them.
All right. Here, I think I have an idea. Best way to get something like that out of your system is putting something else in your system, right? Taloo, you got any of that floor wax?
Shh, not here. No.
A man's life is at stake.
Smoke floor wax on live television, Taloo.
It's not live, luckily.
Still.
Not to share. Can I like try and sense where it is and try and like lift it out of him using?
Ooh, that's tricky. This is gonna be risky position, limited effect because this is a weird. It's a weird.
Wait, hold on. I think I have an idea. Okay. And I pull out this like tiny little camera on a wire from my spy gear that I had on me. I'm like, all right, we can find out exactly where it is. Open up. I just slowly start feeding the camera down his throat.
Oh, you didn't even lube it up? Oh, no.
That's what I'm reckless, baby.
It's future tech. It's self-lubing.
Okay, thank God.
It's self-lubing. little spindle hands come out of it and just rub lube all over the camera body.
Oh, no.
This one's pineapple flavor.
This is about the time when you guys hear over your comms, you hear a brief scream that sounds kind of like Jane, and then some clattering and punching, and then you hear Ma'u starting to, I don't know, it's like a crewmate, and Chaag's low rumble.
Jesus. Okay. Pappy, do you see anything on the camera?
Yeah, it's kind of working its way down, but it's still in the throat area.
Okay. Can I try and get it out?
Using the eye?
Using the eye, yes.
Yeah, so we're gonna bump this up to standard effect with this setup maneuver of knowing exactly what you're doing. But you're gonna have to roll.
Yeah. Yes, I would like to roll a tune. I'd like to do it in a subtle way so it doesn't look like I'm using some weird tricky mind powers as the best of my ability, but that's just kind of my own
Sure,
flavor.
I'll keep that in mind for a consequence, yeah.
Yeah, for a consequence. Okay, I got a 4.
A 4, okay. So you kind of act like you're doing a Heimlich maneuver, but really you're sort of channeling a little bit of sort of telekinetic energy into this guy's chest.
Yeah.
And he horks up the camera and a couple chunks of ooze onto the ground that then skitter away into a corner.
These are all good sounds.
You see
As it's skittering, can I just whip out a pistol and shoot it?
Please, for me.
I go ahead and you know what? Yeah, no, you totally can. You're a kind of a gunslinger type.
Well,
not a gunslinger, but you're fast. Like you have good reflexes. You
For now.
you whip out your pistol and fire off a blaster round. It kind of hits the ooze and like splatters it, but then the drops just keep skittering away.
Yeah.
Any response to what you guys are hearing on the comms?
Yeah, Pappy's gonna respond being like, Chaag, what's going on down there?
I found a furry crewmate.
A furry? Now, is this someone in a suit or someone who has fur?
No, it's not a mascot. It's I don't know. Whom is it? Well, what would you say this is? I'm not familiar.
You're a volley?
A volley. Yeah, whatever that is.
Yeah, all right.
I thought it was an overgrown puppy. I don't know.
Have you tried talking to him?
Oh, yeah. I tried that a lot.
I'll get on comms to be like, do you have it? Are you okay? Do you need assistance?
Yeah.
Margot is like, we heard a scream. Is your partner okay? The cowboy, Fenley?
Oh. Yeah. Who?
The one with the cowboy hat, Chaag. Fenley. You know, our good friend, Fenley.
No, I'm not friends with Fenley. That's Jane. You came with Jane.
No.
We're going to cut down to the hold. Melvin, in the huge spotlight beam of your single lens-like eye in the middle of your head, this other medical emergency liaison droid steps forward, having set down the last of these fish in a line. And I imagine you're kind of on a balcony or on an upper level looking down at the floor of the hold, which is otherwise like completely devoid of cargo, which is unusual for a freighter this size. And it comes up into the light and just looks up at you, and it does not speak. What do you do?
I mean, I think I'm just going to look at it and be like,
Oh, my apologies. I was under the impression that this ship was desolated.
This ship is desolated.
Oh. May I ask your primary function?
My primary function is to organize cargo of the Gorgeous Axiom.
Oh.
It kind of, the head like mechanically turns and looks at two of the lines of fish and then looks back at you.
Yeah, aka put lines of fish.
Yeah.
Well, go about your business.
Carry on then.
Real cool.
Although, I will ask, what is the purpose of the fish? Isn't this a freighter?
Hey, screw you, Andrew. You invented the fish. And you're like, Jonas, do something with it.
Listen, in a fiction first game like this, that's the GM's life, baby. The droid says, I am organizing the cargo of the Gorgeous Axiom.
I do believe you've said that already, but I shall continue on. Do you need assistance in any way doing this?
Oh, God. It looks again at the lines. It's like, no, cargo has been organized. Thank you for your offer of assistance.
Anytime. This is strange. I'm going to go now.
It just stands there and watches you leave.
all right, I'm going to radio in.
I found another medical droid down here. It is organizing fish.
Yeah, Melvin, I think we got a different problem going on right now.
Oh, how may I be of assistance today?
I think maybe we should all meet back up in the cafeteria.
Sure, find Jane, Melvin.
I do not eat, but I will.
Speaking of Jane,
Yeah.
as you just, I assume, are just sprinting to get as far away from the galley as possible.
No, actually, Jane would purposely run into the kitchen.
Go for the kitchen. Okay.
Yeah.
You made that resistance roll, so I'm going to say you're clear-headed enough to do that. You run into the kitchen.
What the camera crew sees and what they pick up on the camera is Jane going around and turning on every single burner in the kitchen and anything that produces heat.
Yeah, so the David, the camera tech following you, comes in a second after you. You're like halfway through all the burners. You turn on radiator, you turn on the plasma oven, and the ship, the engine's running, power's on. All of these things still work. David comes in and was expecting to find you running or like cowering or something, and is very confused. He goes, "Are you? What are you What?
Jane is so it's like a huge sip. So Jane is only like halfway through getting all of these things together and like looking at him with like this crazed look in her eyes. She just grabs him by the shirt and is just like, either start help me or get out of the way, damn it. Turn on anything that can produce heat. It's the only way to blind them. And then she just shoves them back and goes back to doing it.
Okay. He starts like he sets his camera drone to like fly automatically around the kitchen and just starts turning on burners and appliances and things.
Mm-hmm.
Have you encountered something like this before?
She there's a brief moment, the camera might get it, where she kind of like stops for a second, and then just like shakes it off and just keeps going back. Like, we don't got time for that. We got to survive right now. Those things can see heat. They know what they want, and they want to drain every drop of blood from your poor, delicious body.
Delicious.
That's what they find you right now when they're in that state right there. Goddamn less than creatures is what they are, and like keeps going around.
Pappy and Taloo, are you guys going to start? Are you going to try and lead the bridge group down to the galley?
Yes.
All right.
Yeah, as long as Margot is planning on leaving as well. Like, I don't want to leave her unprotected.
Margot's fine with leaving, and she'll, 2 of the camera techs will stay behind with the one who got oozed, and 2 more will come with you. Min Vane also will stay behind and kind of look over them.
Cool. Well, let's go.
So you guys leave the bridge, hurrying down the galley. Now this is, it's a big freighter, so like it takes you a couple minutes to get to one of the, ship-long freight elevators. What are those called? Funiculars, and get down to the galley. But in the interest of the fiction here, we kind of all convene again as Chaag. What are you doing with the valley now that it's been cornered? What's your game plan?
I guess try and restrain it somehow.
Okay, you see the volley is in this corner of the galley. They've knocked over a couple tables, and you see in front of them is the one table that Jane noticed with the single like small blood stain that was the only mark in this room. The volley looks over, and you see them kind of notice something on the far wall in the direction Jane went, and they start, still slowly because they knocked their leg, but start clambering and trying to mobilize toward the kitchen.
I think Chaag might have some parachute cord or something like space parachute cord.
Sure.
Dura cord. Dura rope.
Dura rope.
You have electro cord.
Electro cord. Does it shock people? No.
Nope.
Oh.
Made from a substance called electro. Shut up.
The brand name is Quantum Entanglement.
Ooh, that's really good.
That's so good.
That's really good.
Canon.
Yeah. Some Quantum Entanglement brand electro cord. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, I'm down with it now. That's
God.
This heck.
Okay, you want to try and like lasso them as they're going.
Yeah, I want to. Yeah.
So this is going to be more of a scramble roll, I think. To now again, I don't technically call for the roll, so you could make a case for something else. But I think the main obstacle here, because you've already like interfered with their mobility, I think the main obstacle is getting to them before they get to the kitchen, which means getting over all these tables and this mess here.
Yeah. Okay.
I think that's the chief problem.
Scramble.
Yeah, risky standard though, not too bad. In fact, I'm going to say controlled standard because you're big and hulking and in control.
Yeah, okay. I roll 2 dice, and I am recording, and I rolled a 3 and a 2.
Ooh, okay. So you're not
boy.
going to take any harm from this. The consequence here is just that they get to the kitchen. As you wind up your quantum entanglement electro cord, but the emergency lights are on, you don't have good visibility, and even slowed down, this creature is large and still pretty fast. You stumble forward, kind of knock away some of the tables, throw your makeshift lasso, and it just barely slips off of the side of their arm as they burst through into the kitchen, where Jane...
Yeah, the entire kitchen is lit up that way to effectively blind it as soon as it comes in. And Jane is waiting. She no longer has her blaster, but she has basically a kitchen knife that she is like affixed to like basically a huge ladle, and is just going to stab it or try to stab it up under its chin, basically through its head.
Okay.
So she is ducked underneath, like there's like a metal counter. She is underneath the metal counter right there next to the door.
I think we're going to call this a fortune roll because it's more about the volley's reaction than like you've set up an ambush, you have the element of surprise. So it's not really so much that they are going to block or defend or evade, but just what they are capable of doing in this moment.
Right.
So I'd like someone to roll just one die for me.
I will do the honor because I spoke first.
That's how it works.
You better not screw me over here, Andrew.
Them's the law.
I mean, do we want high or low?
Low.
It's a
We
5.
would like fortunate.
Well,
A 5. Okay, I mean that's a mixed success.
okay.
Even for the volley, which technically doesn't make action rolls. So the volley bursts through the kitchen, and their senses are immediately overwhelmed by this heat wave that rolls out into the galley. Chaag, you can see not the heat wave so much, but the distortion and the light of all these appliances and burners on in the kitchen beam out of the thing, the brightest thing you've seen since you've gone on the ship. The volley screeches and throws up their hands, and they thrash and kind of swing wildly as they are trying to back out. Jane, you get in and you push this knife up under their head, and the volley kind of screams and squeals and reflexively grips you in like a death hug and collapses on top of you. And you're going to take level 2 harm crushed unless you resist.
Yeah, I'll resist. What would that be?
Are
Prowess?
you sure? Because I can patch that if I get there. So I can roll you down to 1.
It's true. Yeah, if you don't want to risk the stress, you could also just take the harm because there's crew. But, Jane is panicking, so...
No, Jane's not. She's not thinking. She's going to try and resist.
Yeah, that's a prowess resist.
4.
So you're going to take 2 stress.
Yep.
And we're going to bump that down to level 1 harm winded as this, still like a 7-foot tall bat person just slams on top of you.
Yep.
Some of the blood gushing from their head and the saliva from their mouth just pour over your face in this disgusting, hot, sweaty mix.
Zoinks.
And it thrashes and flails and squeals and then eventually kind of goes limp and dies on top of you. As Melvin, Pappy, and Taloo arrive at the galley with the rest of the camera crew.
Well, Jane can't move this thing. It's way bigger than she is.
It's a big.
It's really. You see Jane
muscle.
like trying to shove it off of
Melvin
her.
gets over there and starts dragging it off.
As soon as Jane gets up, Jane pulls the knife again and then just embeds it through its heart, immediately.
Whoa!
Oh.
You guys just see Jane looks like something out of an Evil Dead movie that just face and shoulders are just completely drenched in this dark red wine-colored blood, and she smells awful.
Whoa.
Jane, without saying anything, just goes, "Goddamn space vampires," and just walks past you guys to the sink.
I'm just gonna slow turn to Taloo and just be like, you think that thing about turning people mad has gotten to Jane?
She did just kill it, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, it had a limp and everything. She totally overdid it.
Also, why is the kitchen on fire? And Pappy rushes in and starts turning off the burners.
Turning things off, yeah, absolutely. Melvin, as everybody reunites here, you're kind of looking over the scene and you spot something that doesn't seem like anyone else has noticed. There are 5 people in your crew. Margot is here, 2 of her camera techs, David and Ma'u. So 4 cameras in total. There should be 10 people here, including yourself. But as you scan across the room, you count 11 figures.
Does that mean that there are 12 people in here because he sees 11?
I was counting
10?
Melvin because I'm not Melvin.
Right.
He sees...
Just wanted to clarify.
You see 10 silhouettes.
Who's the duplicate?
I would like to look at the outlier, please. I mean, it could be the robot for all I know.
You focus again, counting them off as you go, and standing in between Margot and Taloo is a figure that for a second you think is Min Vane because they're tall and kind of thin. But when you look at them directly, you see that it's actually just this kind of tall walking shadow. This half translucent, 10-foot tall humanoid with long, spindly arms that just looks like a shadow peeled off the ground and stood up.
Okay, so we have a visitor with us, boys. Literally.
And Chaag's like 11 feet now, which is crazy.
Just keeps growing.
It's like Gurren Lagann. By the end of this show, you're just going to be...
That's the whole system.
Chaag,
Yeah, the whole galaxy-sized Rockman.
Chaag just has a cart of milk crates with him at all times.
Yeah, just stick
Right.
on him.
Oh my
Bunch
god.
of apple boxes.
What am I aware of this?
You don't sense anything unusual, Taloo. You're just kind of like... There's kind of an overpouring of emotions in the new sphere here from Jane that you don't sense anything else unusual.
So you said it was between Margot and Taloo?
And Taloo, yeah.
I'm going to go to the two of them and be like,
Ladies, would you please escort the captain to an area where I can examine her? I'm very worried about her mental state at the moment.
I can try. And
I know.
You see the
It'll be a
shadow
hard sell.
figure, the shadow figure's head. There's no eyes really. There's maybe these kind of weird staticky spots where the shadow breaks up. They kind of look down at you, Melvin, and then their head cocks a little bit.
Don't like that.
I'm
Don't
going
like
to cock
that at
the
all.
opposite way.
It mirrors you as well.
I'm sorry to intrude. We are not familiar with this system. At least not to this extent.
Margot's like looks at you, tells like, who's he talking to?
I look around.
You see nothing.
Melvin, you okay?
That's freaky. That's so freaky.
My diagnostics say that I'm working in order. However, it seems that my visual feed is encountering some kind of glitch.
Where?
Ooh.
And I just point.
I look. I see nothing.
Ghost.
Try to
Run out of
sense a
the
little
room.
deeper into it.
You can try and roll to get a deeper connection.
Yes.
Margot will take one of her camera techs and point them at Jane, and one of the other camera techs arrives next to you, Jane, and starts trying to help you like clean up. And
Jane will immediately like pat them up and just like, get the damn camera out of my face. Then she sees Pappy turning off burners. It's like, Pappy, don't you dare turn those off. And she goes over and starts turning them back on.
Are you trying to destroy the ship?
I'm not trying to destroy this ship. I'm not trying to die by some goddamn valley eating my goddamn blood.
I got a 2.
All right,
on that
well,
roll,
take
by the
a
way.
deep breath.
okay,
Ghost.
Taloo, you kind of try and focus on this area where Melvin is pointing. Open your mind up, and for the briefest second, you do see this flickering shadow kind of stuttering into your vision like a glitched VHS tape.
Ooh, oh,
And then it kind of wipes away from vision for both you and Melvin, and you get this psychic pang in your head. You're going to take... Actually, you're not going to take harm, because harm is boring and fictional consequences are more interesting. You feel this psychic pang in your head, and then your third eye, your sense of connection to the eye and to the fourth wall vanishes.
Oh,
The audience, I can't see them.
No.
picture for that, it's like an intense migraine for like a second, and then absolutely nothing. And I think
Yeah.
that is more terrifying than the lasting headache.
Yeah, no, just the single pang. You think you're getting a blind spot from this moment of migraine like pain,
Yeah.
and then when the pain fades, you realize the blind spot is not in your vision, but in your psychic sense,
Yeah.
and the ship is completely silent to you. Yeah,
It would be like if you lost the ability to smell suddenly. Like you just
Yeah.
right.
couldn't smell something, or you couldn't
Yeah.
like hear.
Yeah. No, it's literally, I was just about to say, like, in that, like, absolute silence, she just, like, opens her eyes kind of wide and be like, it's very quiet. I'm just gonna, like, stand up straight and be like, all right, where's Jay? I mean, there's your other freaking name, and just go and try and find her.
Yeah, when the camera texted, I thought your name was Fenley.
Something
Right,
like that.
family, I think you got some explaining to do.
Oh, right. Sorry, I forgot my name was Fenley too. Oh my god, I literally just said it too. Okay.
She's a master of disguise.
Yeah, Jane turns to you. Jane still has this like crazy look in her eye and like, look, I will explain myself as much as you want later, but right now, we need to find out how many more of them there are. If there are more of them, then we are in serious danger right now.
What are you even talking about?
The
It's
valley.
in a crew uniform.
She like looks at it and is like, that ain't a crew no more. That's a feral valley. It doesn't have a mind anymore. It's just a monster. And all it wants to do is feed and feed and feed, and they are never satiated.
You can see that Margot is obviously concerned. She does seem, to be actually care about your guys' welfare. But two of the camera techs behind her just have expressions like, this is gold.
Oh god, actually, yeah, Jane sort of rack pose, sees Margot and will almost move around Pappy and be like, is there a ship manifest? Is there a crew list?
Mr. Floyd, you were tinkering around in the consoles up on the bridge. Did you catch anything like that?
And both cameras zoom in on Pappy. He's like,
You see the sweat dripping down his head.
yeah,
Does the gym look into
full
the
on
camera?
Key and Peel sweat.
No eyebrows.
No eyebrows.
Wait,
So the sweat's getting into your eyes.
yeah, you're red and hairless now, which
God.
is even weirder.
Pappy's the baby.
Well, everyone, the crew had worked here, yes, and I have the manifest, and I just gesture to an oven. What? Right over here. And I go over to the oven and start fiddling with the knobs. As you can see, there were several inmates.
Everyone on the ship really did go mad.
Oh my god.
Melvin's just gonna slowly go up behind Pappy and put his arms around and just kind of lead him away.
I will handle this.
Thank you.
I do not know of a manifest. However, if it is true that Valley are on this ship, there are multiple fish in the cargo hold. If I was to poison them in some kind of way, we could probably take care of it that way.
Margot holds hands. Is like, whoa, hold on. We are not. That's beyond our remit. So let's just take it down a notch. Why don't you guys just chill out here? We've got lights in the kitchen and water. Just take a moment to decompress. And I'm going to take David and Twiv, and we're going to go and we're going to check out the crew quarters and see if we can find anything out. You guys just wait here, okay?
I do not recommend that at this moment.
No.
Leaving the area right now is very dangerous and irresponsible.
I'm with Melvin.
And I know that you would like to us to calm down, and that probably will not happen until the problem is dealt with.
Margot looks again at the dead volley on the ground and goes, okay, look, the ship isn't going to go anywhere. We're not going to have, any kind of problem if we need to take a break and come back. We'll just do some reshoots. That's totally fine. It seems like we're all a little tense. So can we, hey, Ariza, she puts a hand to her earpiece and calls the Oika producer. Ariza, can you turn the lights on? We're gonna take a break. We'll start. Hold on, I can't hear. Can you turn the lights on?
Margot, I think we've lost a little bit of control in this situation, and that's not really time to panic. But
Not at all. This is what we do.
I think we need to reassess our situation here. She just looks her in the eye.
I think as you say that,
Oh boy.
you guys hear this distant clang of heavy impacts on a bulkhead.
What?
And the general sound of rumbling through the ship.
Well, that's cursed.
Margot and the camera techs look around.
Do I hear that?
Yeah, no, you all hear that.
No, because I left the room.
Oh, I'm sorry. When did you leave the room? I didn't.
Oh, when Melvin started talking to something that wasn't there.
So we're saying we're all experiencing this rumbling sound that Chaag may or may not hear, and we're all going to turn around and Chaag will be gone.
Right.
That sounds about right.
Oh, you all turn. Yeah, you see Chaag has, despite his size and weight, his heavy footsteps, has managed to slip away.
If I could have done it without disrupting what was actually important of happening, I would have.
I mean, you stealth by us, the players, so you've slipped away. You're looking for another kitchen?
I'm looking for something. I don't know yet. I'm going in a direction.
Okay, why don't you make a fortune roll to see
I'm
where
not,
you went?
I'm not sure how to deal with the supernatural threat.
Now, this isn't a stat in Scum and Villainy. nor is it in Blades in the Dark or in fact most RPGs have played of. But
Yeah.
if you had to guess on a scale of like 1 to 4, how lucky do you think Chaag is?
4. If going off the past experience set in the campaign, it's a 4.
Based on how he's been rolling.
Checks out. Checks out.
Yeah,
That's pretty fair.
got the
That's pretty
receipts.
fair.
We got a lot of double 6s today.
there
that's
have
true.
been. That's why I'm also
gonna ask,
recording them.
because there is other influence here, I'm going to take that and I'm going to ask you to roll 3 dice.
Okay, recording. That's a 6 and 2 4s.
Oh my god.
Still really good.
Still really good.
I'm
So-
shooting these.
No, you're great. You're.
I believe you.
Yeah. It's,
I
there's
just
no
don't
disbelief.
believe you.
It's just yeah, exactly.
I believe you. I just hate you.
Jag,
With how
you
I've been
just-
rolling.
at some point slip away from the galley and wander off into the bowels of the ship. And at one point before the rumbling starts, because you've been gone for a couple of minutes, you encounter this wandering white droid that looks pretty much exactly like Melvin.
Oh, hey, Melvin, what's going on?
They just stare at you. Their giant singular lens eye.
Their central eye, if
The
you
central eye.
Their central eye. Also their only eye.
Hit the Melvin in their central eye.
But also not an eye at all.
Hit the buzz droid at the center.
Right.
can
Central
see.
fake eye.
Melvin, hello. How's it going?
Their head tilts.
Are you still seeing the ghost? Is it here? Oh my god, is it here?
As you ask that question, the robot's head tilts the other way down the hallway, which, since it's kind of 3/4 facing toward you, the head like basically pulls an almost complete 180 to look the other direction. And that's when the rumbling starts. And you guys in the galley, you just kind of hear it as distant. But Chaag, you're kind of in this central hallway through one of the tunnels of the ship, and it's coming from the very end. And you see there is a bulkhead at the end that something is clang, clang, clang banging into.
Hate that. Just hate that.
Is your vocal processor not working? Hello? Bang, 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 bang.
You smack the droid, it turns back to you and says, I recommend we make an expedited exit. And then it starts just Terminator sprinting down the hall away from
I
the
imagine
bulkhead.
it's not really sprinting, it's just like power walking down
Right,
the
yeah,
hallway.
it's just like it's kind of bounding.
Oh, I imagine it being super uncanny valley whenever Melvin runs.
It's very weird.
An expeditious retreat. This feels oddly familiar. And I'm gonna run again with this new droid.
You turn and start running as the bulkhead boom, swings off of its hinges, and coming through down the hallway, stumbling over themselves in a swarming, seething horde, are maybe 100, 200 various crew members who are all foaming at the mouths and fast zombie just windmill running
Oh, okay.
directly at you. Wait, why was that a relief?
Oh, I mean, I thought they were there like volley, but if they're not volley and they're just dead things that are decomposing, I'll just shoot the crap out of them.
Neither. There are some volley that you see,
Oh, okay.
but you also see humans, you see Skrelu, you see Irilari, you see even 1 or 2 Kydians, and they don't appear to be dead any more than that volley was dead. They are rabies mad, feral, and sprinting. toward
Oh,
you.
okay, cool.
Oh no.
I'm gonna keep sprinting and to the robot, or like
Correct.
it just occurred to me, you're not Melvin.
We slam back to the galley as Chaag and the other droid arrive inside the galley, sprinting through. Do you stop to tell everyone else what's going on, or are you just going to sprint through back toward the exit?
I found the crew.
Yeah.
He was organizing the fish I had mentioned earlier.
Rumbling is getting louder and louder and louder. You hear this distant snarling.
Are there
and
any
screaming.
like is there a door lock thing that I can shoot to
Yes,
something closes and Han Solo this?
Yeah, you come in, found the crew, shoot the lock on the galley door you came in, slam shut. It's not going to hold them for long, but it will provide a barrier.
I think Pappy sees that and he pulls out a heavy blaster and he's like, I don't know, guys. I think we can take him. And he just cocks it.
No. No.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we got this.
Time to go.
Wait.
And I want to like.
Hey, did you shave?
What? Pappy like feels his face for the first time. Why didn't anybody tell me?
You're red and so smooth, Pappy. That's a good look for you.
I spent 30 years growing that stash.
Take your hands off me.
No,
Margot is like, what's going on? Is everything okay? What's happening?
Sounds like it's time to go. And like.
No, it sounds like it's time to fight. Come on, Jane.
Nope.
Pappy, that is a terrible idea.
Does
What is-
did Chaag even say that he's being chased? Like, do we know?
He said he found the crew and then shut the door.
Well, I mean, you heard the bulkhead like banging and then Chaag running in.
Yeah,
I
you
think
guys are
through
hearing the bad
context, I think
noises.
you understand.
Okay.
I believe
what's
snarling
happening.
was part of the auditory description that we were
You hear some snarling, screaming, and the rumble you can also now identify as hundreds of pairs of footsteps.
Yeah, would you say
charging
these
down
are
the hall.
sounds that Jane recognizes?
I wouldn't say recognized, but I would say familiar. If that
That's
makes
more
sense.
what I meant.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Jane will look to Margot and is like, where are the crew quarters? They're going to be able to automatically seal, have a pressurized airlock that should keep them out.
Margot like pulls up a holographic map on her wrist computer, and it shows like back the way Chaag came.
That's not good.
I'll blow us way through.
But they're not between you and where you guys docked. If you want to try and just make a break for it.
Oh, then yeah, then let's just try and make a break for it.
Nah, I think we can take him out.
We cannot take them, Pappy. You are not invincible. We gotta
That's
go.
what you think, my friend.
Jane will like grab Pappy and start like trying to get him to run.
Wait, hold on.
I mean, with this look, maybe I don't know. It could be.
You guys turn and
Thank
start
you.
sprinting for the airlock where you came in.
Well, they don't. They stay behind to die.
Unless somebody drags Pappy
That's
out.
what I said I was doing. I grabbed you.
Yeah, I don't know if you're stronger than Pappy.
I think Chaag
Okay.
will grab you. I think it's
Jack
pretty
will
good.
grab me, that's for sure.
That's what happens all the time.
Old standard, Pappy under the arm.
Can I do one more thing? Because I think we do this too often in a session, and I was really building up to it. What is your name?
I believe he's talking to you, fellow Mel.
My designation is Medical Emergency Liaison 0161.
You can call him Mel to differentiate. Let us continue.
I'm trying to think of like Mel 16, MI6. Oh, MI6.
MI6.
MI6,
Give
a
him
thing
MI6
that
is
does not
great.
exist in this universe, for sure.
It does
Makes
now.
it funnier. It does now. It's this robot.
Exactly.
There you go.
You all start sprinting for the airlocks as behind you, the galley doors burst open. And that is where we will call today's session.
Come on, I love it more.
Let's quickly go through and see what kind of XP we earned today in a very tense, drama-filled episode.
I'll go first. I'm going to give myself 4.
4 XP, yeah. We're not going into much detail, but it's a good, this was a good example of characters' vice and traumas
Oh, yeah.
affecting their XP gain here for I think the first time, maybe the second time.
I'll go next. Was my attacking the valley a desperate action?
That was basically just a fortune roll because you set yourself up well enough to not risk it.
Okay, then it would just be 4 XP.
So even though you were panicking, you still had the advantage, if that makes sense.
Yes, that makes sense.
3 XP.
3 XP for Taloo? Okay.
Yes.
I'm gonna say 4.
Oof.
I'm gonna
These
give
are some-
myself a little taste today.
Give yourself a
Yeah,
little love.
absolutely. Some beefy episodes we've had. And Chaag?
4.
Take it. Absolutely. Thank you all so much. Does anyone have anything they would like to plug?
Sure. I'll go first. I'll actually mix it up just because I'm excited and information was just announced. I'm going to shout out Kingdom Fair, which is a brand new Renaissance fair to the New York City area that is opening for the first time this year. It is an amazing cast of people. It's very exciting. It goes from April 30th to June 26th, or those weekends. So feel free to check it out. I believe the website is kingdomfair.com. But yeah, I'll be performing there. So if you're in the area, come check me out.
I'll be going.
Yeah, we're all probably gonna show up at some point.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Kingdomfair.com, yes.
Let us know when you're going. If you're going.
Oh yeah, no, definitely let us know. Let me know.
When you're going.
I'm TINTENSEHER on Linktree, which can point you to my itch.io, where I published a lot of things last month for a lot of game jams, including The Last Free Frigate in a Narrowing Sea, which is a one-page piratical betting RPG that I'm really proud of. So check it out. Thank you.
I got some news on another D&D related show that I'm gonna do. So I have mentioned a while ago that I was going to be a part of this Twitch channel, Clickety Clackety Roll to Attackety. We are finally starting up with our session 1 next week, which is the 16th. Wednesday the 16th. And I'm going to be playing a Lolcatha Barbarian. We're doing Wild Beyond the Witchlight. And on Twitch, it's Clickety Clackety RTA, all one word. So you should be able to find us there.
Very cool.
Yeah.
If you like this podcast, why not leave a review?
A review, if you will.
Or you could
like
send
Dory
us,
talking to
you
the
could
whales.
send us a message at RP Jesters, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook.
Now we've gone
Or
French.
send us an email at rpgesters@gmail.com.
Yeah, speaking of which, shout out to Charlie.xyz for giving us a review on Apple Podcasts. And if you give us a review, we'll give you a shout out. Thank you so much for your kind words. It was really nice.
Thank you, Charlie.
Thanks for listening, cuties.
Oh, he said it. He said the thing.
Yeah, I said the word.
You're
You
the
happy?
listening
You
thing.
finally
I'm very happy.
You finally got me down.
Trained you.
No. When you least expect it, right when you think you're the most safe, it's coming.
I housebroke you
I
like
never
Chaag
think I'm
housebroke
safe.
that volley. That's how that happened.
Oh no,
That was so stupid.
man.
You rolled like 4 6s in one
So
time.
disrespectful.
well-
It's as if like like in the thing, like one of the people just picked up the gross dog and was just like gross and just threw it into the snow. Like it just
Oh, that's taken care of.
like he acted like, well, anybody want lunch? Like
I don't know what you want my lovable himbo to do.
No, I mean, well, the thing is, like, it kind of worked because, like, it was really more of a threat to Jane than to Chaag.
Yeah.
Bye.
So,
Bye-bye.
It's fine. They can hear this. They can hear this. It's fine.